Well, here I stand, watching another sunset, day after day, hour after hour, watching sunsets, watching sunrises, observing my patterns of thought, my patterns of emotion, my feelings during the seasons, how they change with the winter and the summer, and how the spring brings out that excitement and angst, and anticipation of great things to come. And I can observe myself, and I can watch my flaws, I can watch my weaknesses, my strengths, and see what I need to do better, see what I'm doing fine. I tend to beat myself up sometimes because I feel like I should be doing better than I am, as far as being in full control of who I am, my emotions, my mind. And then I have to step back sometimes and realize that that's just a pipe dream, to think that you'll ever be in full control of anything. And basically come to the conclusion that, God damn it, I'm doing the best I can. And that's really all I can say about it. I'm doing the best I can. You know, I get heartache from people who, not heartache, I guess it's more of a, people try to bring you down with them sometimes. If you feel like you're doing well and they want to make you feel like you're not worthy. And I see how people who are weaker of mind than others can be more easily swayed by other people's opinions. And I have to remember through my daily life that I listen to what people say, but I don't take it as gospel. And if you're not paying attention to what people are saying at all, then you're really not gaining anything and you're not growing. So I have to consider every aspect, every angle, everything a person says or tells me, whether it be about myself or about life or about them. And I met people who see the world as a scary place and people who see it as a perfect place, and everyone in between. And I'm not going to delude myself. I'm not going to pretend like I have it figured out, because I don't. I'm just a human. I'm sitting here making a video on my back porch. I can feel the cool weather, the cool air creeping in for the evening. My senses, my emotions, the smells in the air, all the things that I'm experiencing are my own. And this situation is my own. And all of my circumstances are my own. And no one else's. And not a single person experiences the same life that I do. Nor will they ever, nor have they ever. And when we really look at that, and we see that for what it really is, we realize that there's no changing anyone. There's no turning back who we are. And the best we can do is just move along and be the best person we can. Being honest with ourselves, being honest with others. I had a comment earlier, somebody said something about their mom said that most people are good people. And I said, your mom was right. And I said something to the effect of, as a good person, yada, yada, yada. And another commenter came in and said, he said something to the effect of, I'm not going to believe your hubris of saying you're a good person. I'd rather hear it from others. I thought that was kind of a funny comment. So I said, nobody else is going to think you're a good person for you. In fact, we've thought that being a good person somehow is like arrogant to say you're a good person. Well, as a person who has never cheated at a game, who doesn't lie, who doesn't steal, who doesn't abuse or harm others, who does my best to just be fair in all of my dealings, damn right I'm a good person. Because somebody's got to be a good person. And maybe that is arrogant. Maybe that is hubris. But that knowledge of knowing that I'm a good person is the only thing that keeps me wanting to be a good person. By knowing the experiences that I live in my life, the experiences that I'm having are a result of my actions. And the negative consequences in my financial life are a result of not taking enough action to gain finances. But the lack of conflict in my personal life is a result directly of my choice not to engage in harmful activities, not to engage in abuse. The fact that I'm a free man, that I'm, you know, when I say, for example, use this example of, I'll tell somebody my insurance is only $30 a month, and they'll say, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." I'll say, "No, I'm not lucky. I just drove my car right. I didn't speed. I followed the rules. I played the game properly. And that's why I have no tickets on my record. When I was younger, I had tickets all the time." So we make the choices. Nobody's lucky because of what they have. There are some who are. But most of those people, they know in their hearts that they're lucky. The people who work for what they have, the people who work to gain a better understanding of themselves and the world around them, that's a gift that can't be taken. In other words, you can work your ass off to make as much money as you possibly want, but that can all be stripped from you instantly. And when you're working towards being a good person, you have to make the assumption about what a good person is. You can't just say, "I'm a good person," without having something to go along with it. In other words, an understanding of who you are, and not being affected by other people as far as them trying to drag you down, bring you down, because they're unhappy with their own lives. And this extends into family sometimes, because I was thinking about this earlier. I thought, I hear people say family always comes first. And I say, my family, my direct family that I live with now, I love them to death. I love my wife. I love my children. I love my mother, who doesn't live with me, of course, and my brother, who lives out in Hood River. And they're close to me. But let's take extended family, for example. When people say family comes first, it's like we will even put family first if they're abusing us, if they're harming us. And I would put any good friend before some family member I didn't know, in other words, merely because the person is blood. A person has to earn their right to be, they have to earn the right to be loved and respected. It's not something that just comes as a default of being a family member. So, you don't have to love your father because he's your father if he beats you all the time. You don't have to love your mother if she was a shitty mom. But we do, because it's in our hearts. We feel this for family, but we don't feel it just because someone's family. We feel it because of the experiences we've had with them, the good and the bad. So my observation of people around me, and seeing how families are affected so strongly by abuse and by just being all around bad people. And I don't mean that sounds very offensive. Some people are bad people, and they don't mean to be bad. They're merely being the best they know how to be. For example, you can't just say thieves are bad people. I say I'm a good person because I'm not a thief. But does that mean all thieves are bad? No, of course not. I know better than that. I know some people have no choice but to steal. That's how they feed their families. Maybe they could put forth more effort. Let's take a thief who has the ability to work and chooses not to. Maybe it's just not in the cards for them. There is no black and white. There is no cut and dry. So when I say, "Oh, I'm a good person," that's purely subjective. And I'd say I'm probably better to other people than I am to myself by far. And that's a realization, I guess, until I really just said it. I don't really consider it. That I want to do good for other people, and I want to do nice things for other people, but I feel like when it comes to myself, I come second sometimes, and that's something that I need to really correct, because a person may think, a person may meet a person like me and think I'm an arrogant person, when in the reality I'm just as self-conscious as the next guy, right? I'm willing to put my face on camera and talk about my life and what things mean to me, but I'm still a human. I'm still a person like you. I go to sleep. take a shit, you know? I mean, come on, let's be real here. It's like the image that we have of what's really going on in people's lives is purely limited by what they expose to us. So when I sit here and I make a video and I'm sharing it with all of you, you're seeing this side of me that is, you know, maybe rational, maybe irrational, depending on the video, but a person who is, you know, coherent and functional, and it may appear to a person that I'm always thinking like this. But in reality, I sit and I go brain dead and watch television. I do all the normal things people do. I pace around the house thinking, what should I do next? I try to correct my bad habits, my addictions. I beat myself up over things that I could do better, and have a hard time with a lot of the same things that everybody else does. And people know that. But it reminds me of the celebrity view that people have, that, you know, when you see a celebrity, a movie star, or whatever, a politician, we have these views of how they are based on how we see them on screen. And it's not always like that. But people are the same way. We're all different. We all have our shortcomings, strengths and weaknesses, and we're all doing the best we can, hopefully. So when you see someone who's not doing the best they can, try to help them up, you know, because it's not their fault. I think that most people really are good people, and I know that we focus on the negative more than we, you know, more than we bring out the goodness. You know, this is why the bad news stories and what's wrong with the world is what people are focused on. And my son's in there teasing the dog. I don't know. That's not a good thing. Yeah. Having children humbles you to the extreme. And yeah, it really does. It makes you put yourself second. And I think that's what everybody needs sometimes. So, without further ado, I bid you farewell, and I wish you all the best of evenings, and I hope you all enjoyed the video, and talk to you soon. Peace.